fine, great day it is, and sunny too, not bad for us. I hope that your day is pleasant too, and you're grateful for this day. It's been a long weekend for me, for having an extended weekend because we had a holiday yesterday. So I took time off so that I can also rest and ensure that self-care is maintained during the holiday. But welcome to this week. Glad to have you here, and I hope that you're good too. My name is Winnie Kamuya, CEO, International Renaissance Center, an international best-selling author, a speaker, and a coach. Good afternoon if it's an afternoon for you. It is for me. If it's an evening, good evening, and good morning if it's a morning for you. I want to welcome you to today, and I'm glad that you're here because I want to look at something that will interest you. And I believe that last week we looked at 7 things that can help you reveal your why, because you do not want to be existing without knowing your why. But now, what happens when you know your why? What next? How do you get this big picture and start working towards it? Because remember, it will look so big and you want to be doing something towards that big why, and you need help along the way. You need to keep sustained along the way, because at some days you might feel discouraged, you might want to give up. Welcome, Sean. And it might make you feel, why did I have this? Why? It's too big, it's too much, I can't go on, I want to give up, I want to forget about it, and I want to just stay back and just watch the world. I don't think that is you, and that is why you're here, because looking at what high performance do, you will notice one thing that they do is that they take the big why and they make sure from the big why they break it down. And when they break it down, they are able to take small changes daily, small changes towards to be great and towards being successful. And that is what I would love us to look at today. And I would like to look at least 5 steps that you can follow, and you can be able to break your why and ensure that your purpose is incorporated in your daily life, and so that you can leave your legacy. After all, that is what you want at the end of the journey of your life. And I'm pleased to have you. And I know, because you are here, you have a plan to leave a legacy behind. And if you're going to leave a legacy behind, then you need some help. And if you need some help, then you are towards achieving that goal. In fact, one of the things that I need to let you know is that when you have a plan, and always when you have a plan, put it in writing, because it's always good to have a plan written somewhere. You will need to reference that at some point. And that is why it is good for you to be having a good plan that is written. Because even if you don't follow that plan, you know your end goal, and that is the goal. Remember, you need to leave a legacy. And for you to leave a legacy and for you to confidently work towards your goal, you need to break down that goal into small bites, into daily activities and daily habits that will just become normal for you. I believe that working with middle managers, the people who push and make sure, and they're about 80% in organizations, they push what comes from the top to below them to ensure what the organization hopes to achieve is achieved. They can't just carry that big idea, that big goal, without them thinking of a plan. How do we make this a reality? That's where we need to know how to do it in small bits. And I wanted to look at 3 things that can help you with your why. And within that, I'll share with you something that you can start applying today, because I believe you are heading somewhere. And if you are heading somewhere, then this is the right place to be at this moment. So step 1, look to the future. What does the end journey, what does your end journey look like? What is your end? Because you have to have an end image. Because when you have that image of what you want to see at the end of your journey, at the end of your journey, what does it look like? What is that person that you're seeing in yourself? After 20 years, after 30 years, after 40 years, as an old man, where do you want to be as an old man? Besides you being a grandfather, besides you being a grandmother, what else? What is that image? So, let's take, for example, you want to be a senior manager in your organization, and you've got to work. Remember I said, as a middle manager, one of the things that you do is you take orders from above, work on them, make sure they can be implemented and transfer them to the lower or the people who are your juniors, so that they make it work. So if your goal is now to be the director, then you need to plan. How will you be a manager in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? That is what you need to start now working on, so that as you see yourself as the overall manager or as the director of your department, your organization, what's your plan? Because once you have the end game image or the end game for you, then you start working towards that. So number 2, step 2, what can you start to do today to get started? You've got to start right now. Because if you have the end, then you need something that you should begin working on today, so that it's working towards getting to where you're going. Because if you're going somewhere, unless you step out of, for example, if you're traveling, unless you step out of your house, there's nowhere you are going. You're going to still remain in the house. So in this case, you want to be the director. Then you need a plan on how you're going to ensure that, first of all, what you do is noticed, and whatever you do is giving them results that they have not seen, and whatever you are doing is bringing maybe efficiency to the organization. Whatever you are doing is motivating, because at the middle manager you are dealing with a lot of people, and you need to motivate and keep them motivated to do their work, because when they do their work, they give results. When they give results, it means that you are performing good. And when you get that reward in terms of the results that you are getting from your junior staff, then your bosses will know, seriously, this is somebody we need to consider in the next promotion, because they seem to understand what needs to be done, and they seem to know how to get people below them to be able to do that work to get what we want. Step 3, remind yourself the purpose every day. So what is your purpose? I want to be the director in the next 5 years, and I need to remind myself on a day-to-day basis. My goal is to be the director, so I need to be working on that to ensure that I'm doing the right thing. So every day I meet my juniors or I meet my seniors. So from my seniors I get instructions where the organization is going. So in the next 3-5 months, we need to pivot towards virtual because everyone is moving. We need to help our customers to move from offline to online. And I need now this staff to start working on ensuring that we are moving online. So your job as a middle manager is that one of ensuring these people, your juniors, they understand clearly the organization is moving from offline to online. And they need to know what is required of them to ensure they are serving their clients online. So that is what you are doing as your middle manager. Because the directors or the seniors, your seniors, they have instructed you, they have informed you, this is where the organization is moving towards, and I need all the staff to be working towards that so that we continue to serve our clients. And that is clear. You need now to know every single day, remind yourself, this is what I am doing, and I'm helping my seniors, my juniors, so that we can get the organization to where it needs to be. On top of that, I'm looking forward to being promoted because I will have effectively implemented or motivated the people to do what they're supposed to do to ensure we still have clients. So step 4, track your progress. Anytime you're not taking track of your progress, that is when you come out not appreciating that you are progressing. But when you track your progress, oh, last month I was here, and that is why people track. Last month, we did not know how to work online. This month, we know how to work online. That is progress. And when you take note of progress, you know that you are moving forward. If you don't take note of that, you might not appreciate, no matter how small it is. Because if you can't notice those small things, then you can't appreciate that you are moving forward towards your goal. Last month we are offline, we didn't know how to do it. This month we know that we're supposed to be online, we know how to go about it, and we are moving the staff towards that. They are beginning to understand and appreciate. They are adjusting. They are now not rigid because they understand. My seniors have said, we need to move from offline to online. And I've transferred that information, and I've actually gone to the extent of helping my staff or my juniors to understand this is what we will do, this is what is required to move us online. So if we are working towards that, then you will know and you will notice that you're making progress. And when you notice you are making progress, you know you are not stuck. And that is very important because you need to keep moving forward. So step 5, spread the word. Remember, if you're going to get the promotion, definitely, you want that promotion, and you're working here with your junior staff to make sure they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Obviously, you will be noticed in one way. If you will not be noticed, maybe when you go for your next meeting, you need to tell them, okay, this is what I was telling the staff, we do this, this is how I motivated them. Because sometimes people don't know what you're doing. Sometimes. And it shouldn't come as a surprise. You assume people know what you're doing. Sometimes they don't know. They have no clue. In fact, they say that most of the times, and that is why when you reach a certain age, around, I think 60, they say around 60, you realize no one was paying attention to you. Like everybody's sucked up by their own things. They're not thinking about you. So it's good to let them know. It's good to create the visibility for yourself, because when you do, then they know where you're good at, and they also appreciate what you're doing. And you know, when they appreciate what you are doing, you begin to get motivated and continue to work towards your why. Very, very important. So, and each day you are doing something, you are adding it into your habits, and when you are adding it to your habits, remember, you continue to build your trademark aspects. And you know, when you do that, whatever it is that you do, and it is obviously different from any other person, you are growing yourself. You are ensuring that this one is becoming a daily activity every day. So it is within your habits, and if it is within your habits, it helps and ensures that you are performing at your best, and you want to be performing at your best, and you will be living your life authentically. Now, I want to add to this, and I want to give you some more tools that will help you to find out your why by asking yourself some questions. I believe this is going to be useful. I learned about this. This is one good thing about being in groups where you learn from others and you continue to learn. If you're not learning, you might die sooner than you have to. Learning means that you are stretching yourself. And when you're stretching yourself, and that is stretching your brain, it keeps your mind curious. And when it is in that curiosity, there is no room for you to getting old, because you want to know, what is that? What did they say? You mean I can do this? So in that curiosity, the brain is forced to expand, not to contract. So anytime it is expanding, know that you are not going to age faster. Keep that in mind. It is not my research, it is research done by people who care about the brain and people who wanted to understand why some people get older faster and why others don't. So that's just one tip. So I wanted to share with you this framework. It's called the CWD framework. And the CWD framework, I don't know which one is the best, where you can see, so that you can see as I explain. So it asks you, okay, the CDW stands for clarity, decision, and why, okay? So when we want to make a decision and how we make best decision, this one I learned from Todd Herman. And he says that for us to make good decisions, and especially our decisions that are in line with life, we need to think about these three things: clarity, decision, and why. So the first thing to ask is, what should I do about? What is that issue you need to make a decision? Because when you understand that issue, then you're best placed to start going to the next part of getting clarity about the issue. So in our case, we can go ahead and say, is it visible there? Okay. In our case, we want to say that what should I do about my promotion? So if you are worried about your promotion and you want to know what should you do for you to be able to get promoted, then you need to think about, I just want to add something that will come under clarity so that you apply. And you are going to ask yourself, what do I need to do? Is it clear? What will I do? What do I need to do? What will I do? And when you ask yourself what you need to do, then it gives you some activities that you might say to yourself, I need to be able to ensure that these junior staff, they understand clearly what is supposed to be done for us to move from online to from offline to online, and I need them to do 1, 2, 3 things. I need them to list the products that can go online. That's an example. I need them to know how it will be delivered to our clients, and I need to know how our clients can raise complaints or how our clients can reach us and give us feedback. So you need to find out what you will do and what you can do. So this is under clarity. So what you can do and what you will do. Then you need to ask yourself, if you don't do that, or if you won't do that, then what happens? So if you don't think about what will happen and you don't get them to do what they're supposed to do for you to move the organization from offline to online, what does it mean? It means you're going to be stuck where you are. It means you might lose your clients. It means there will be no business. It means they will be jobless. So you need to do something. Okay? So we are done with clarity. So now we move to decision. So what decision do you need to make? So now already you know what you need to do or what you will do. And you know when you don't do and you won't do, what will happen. You have consequences. So you now have to make a decision. And when you're making a decision, I want you to think based on the why, on the will and the consequences, and also understanding that now you are clear about the problem that you are facing, because you already asked the question that you needed to ask, what was the issue? And once you make the decision, you want to come to the last part, which is why. So once you come to your why, you ask yourself, why did I make that decision? Remember, I said one thing. Always have your notes, your journal, note down some of these things, because you will come back 5 years when you have been promoted as a director and you want to look back and you want to say, oh, so it's because I told them, or it's because I decided if we started working on this issue today, they will not be jobless. It is because we worked with them and we agreed that we needed to move the company to this direction, and we did 1, 2, 3. That's why we are still in our employment. That's why I got the promotion. So keep thinking about those things and write them down, because one day you will reference and you will be happy to look back and see, okay, we were there and now we are here, and we already noted down our successes. Because when we write our successes or when we write our plan, we can always refer to it in future when you have certain things happening or when we face similar things. So with that said, I'm hoping, unless you have questions, welcome Zakayo. Unless you have questions, which you can leave below there, then I am so happy that you've joined me today, because I want you now to start working on your why. And I want you to write down, because you will reference that in 10 years to come, in 20 years to come. You will be glad you did this today. So make sure you have the big plan for your why. Stick it everywhere. If you need, I don't have my phone, if you need, put on your phone reminder, on your phone notebook. Put it where you need to sit every day. If it's in your mirror, your wardrobe, your car, wherever, your desk, your diary, where you need to have it to remind you. This is my why. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing today, because I want in 5 years, in 10 years, my legacy to be this. And if my legacy has to be this, then I have to be doing this. You will have incorporated that. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to your comments as you apply all those strategies, those tools I've given you. They are going to be handy in your life. And if you have learned something that can help your colleague, feel free to share the video. Leave your comments and feedback below. And until next time, I hope and look forward to seeing you then. Goodbye for now.